Hey everybody, it's your boy Tazasaki back with another video, aka Guzman Shen. Here doing another musical review. I was gonna plan to do the review for this one on 4th of July, but I did the live stream with my friend on his channel. So this will be a rehash of 4th of July video I was supposed to be doing. So what I'm reviewing today is called 1776. Fun fact about this musical: it was produced during the bicentennial, which is our 200-year anniversary in the United States. It was produced and directed in 1976, and the movie came out a year later in 1977 with the same actors as the Broadway play, playing their same roles. In this musical, it's basically takes place all in Philadelphia. The entire film takes place all in Philadelphia in 1776, and it takes place during the Second Continental Congress and it goes through the issue of independence. And about different people going in against why they did not want to be under the British monarchy anymore, under British control, and about different people and different things. And it's such a great musical, even though there's only a handful of songs that I particularly enjoy in it. It is such a great musical. Basically, the four main characters you could say are the main characters are Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Ben Franklin. That's basically the three main characters. Well, there's other main characters, but those and John Hopkins, I believe his name is, or John Hancock. John Hancock is the other one. Are the other three? Those are the four. Those are the most main characters that I know of. John Hopkins. Everyone. So the songs in the movie, mainly most main character is John Adams. The first song is called "Sit Down, John," which I have on my phone, and it's the song where he's talking. Where basically he goes down. He's up near the Liberty Bell, looking out across the Philadelphia, and a guy who's basically like an assistant calls him back down, and he says, "3 years King George and his Parliament have shit on us, made illegal Stamp Acts, and still this Congress refused to grant my proposal on independence. I think a courtesy of open debate. What, good God, what the hell are you waiting for?" Which I agree with John Adams in this entire scene. For 3 years in this movie, the King George and the British colony has basically illegally taxed the United States for so many things for no apparent reason. Only because they had debts for the 7 Years' War protecting us from the French, which we didn't even ask us to protect them either. Okay? And they tax us to pay their debts. Why don't you tax your own citizens when we have our own? Technically, we had our own governments inside of the United States itself, or the colonies at the time. The funniest thing, or in the story, the interesting thing in the story, and they saw him sit down, John, and they're talking he's like, no, God, we've heard this before, we've heard you talk about the independence. He says, vote for independence, or I forgot what he says, independency? No. People are asking to open up the window because it's so hot in Philadelphia at the time. And then there's no, too many flies. They're going to come in, flies are going to bother them. There's one scene where he says, God, good gravy, or good grief. That you better thank God that you have John Adams to abuse, because no man, same man will tolerate it. And then he finally leaves after one guy says, "Would someone shut that man up?" And John Adams says, "Never." And then he walks out. And then he sings the song Piddle, Twiddle, and Resolve, where he's basically complaining about the Congress itself and to God. He's saying to God, we sit here in foggy, fuming Philadelphia, and nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever does. Like he's sitting there for one. They've been sitting there for 1 year, and no one can actually talk about get down to business. And then at one point, there's always in the movie and also in the musical, there's correspondences between George Washington through the Congress of the Writing. And there is one scene particular is George Washington's letter or deliverer. By the way, it's not Hamilton because Hamilton is not in the war yet at the time. And I know you all might be wanting me to do a review of that, and I will be doing a review of that, just not right now. Most likely, maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Wednesday. And the story is basically so that Premature Resolve, we all get introduced to Abigail Adams, which is the wife of John Adams, and her line is one of my favorite lines in the entire musical. Is when she says to John that our kids are getting sick. Basically, he says like little Abby has little John keeps turning blue. Little Abby has the measles, and I'm coming down with flu. We say we may get smallpox too. And then John Adams says, "Madam, what else is new?" Meaning like we already know it's gonna happen. And it's funny because all the diseases they're mentioning, the flu we still get sometimes, but measles and smallpox and things are pretty much curable now. Back then they were like you had a 1 in 5% chance of surviving. 1 in 5 million something chance of surviving measles and smallpox. And if you did, congratulations, you survived it, but you might have horrible scars from it afterwards. Then another song I like is called so basically in the musical itself, it's all about them Johnny Adams, Ben Franklin, and later Thomas Jefferson trying to convince the Congress and all the other delegates to declare independency, and it's also about the creation of the Declaration of Independence. Another song I like is called Congressional. It was a congressional debate or something like that, where it's after that John Hancock has decided that granted them to right to draft a Declaration of Independence. Okay, after he's won a few people over to the Declaration, and John Adams is fighting because no one will accept his proposal if it's his proposal because no one likes him because he says I'm obnoxious and I'm disliked and I'm loud and that's basically what it is. No one likes him. Okay, and then he's going through all the people that he's been teamed up with, and each one of them has an excuse, including Ben Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. And then finally, the last person's left is Thomas Jefferson. And Thomas Jefferson just says the best line, "Mr. Adams, leave me alone. I don't want to do it." And he basically kind of guffles him or butters him up by saying, "You write better than me. You write better than most everyone in Congress. Blah, blah, blah. For 33 years old, you're pretty good at writing." And then there's one scene where he's like, "I haven't seen my wife," as we all know. Thomas Jefferson was quite the lover back then, was quite the lover. And he says, "I burned Mr. A. So do I, Mr. J." And then Ben and all the other three then said to him, "But you do, John? Who would have?" And he says, Mr. Jefferson, dear Mr. Jefferson, I'm only 41. I still got my virility, and I can run through Cupid's Grove with great agility. But there is little more to life than sexual combustibility," which I thought was so funny. And then the most, I think, saddest song in the entire musical is called "Mama Look Sharp," which is basically sung from a, I guess a version through a corpse of a kid who had just been shot and is dying in a battle, and the ending song on the song is sung by the mother. It says, "Mama, can you hear me? Mama, I'm under the old maple tree. My eyes were pointed to the sky. Mom, come find me before I do die." And you won't, trust me, if you listen to that song, there is no way you won't get choked up, because that song is so powerful. The kid who sung it did it very well, and the way it's sung towards the end of the song is from the mother's perspective. And it says, "I'll bury you, my Billy, being here beneath the maple tree. I'll close your eyes, my Billy, the eyes that cannot see, since he's dead. His eyes are open. No one closes his eyes, so the eyes can't. He really can't see. He's dead." And then he says, "And never again will I hear you whisper to me, Mama, hey Mama, look sharp." And that's the end of the song. And the song is just like a drum beat. That's the only song you hear is a drum beat to the song, like actual revolutionary drums. Great song. And then the only great story, I think the only other there are other good songs in it, don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, The Leaves of Old Virginia. The most funniest character in all of the series, of all the musical, is Robert Lee. Something like that. Richard Henry Lee. Sorry, Richard Henry Lee, who we all know was later became is the friend of, became the great grandfather of Robert E. Lee from the Civil War. And he was it's called The Leaves of Old Virginia is the name of the song. And it's about, he's the one who basically gets everyone up to he promotes the plan for independence, because the Lees are the oldest family in America. Virginia is the oldest colony, and if the South goes, then the middle colonies will go. So if the Virginia if someone from Virginia, specifically someone from the Lee family, comes up with a plan for independency, they will give more of a shot than from John Adams, who people really do not like. The only reason why he's there is because he's rich, and not rich, but like a very smart man, and was nominated to go there by his colony, which is Boston, state of Massachusetts. Great musical. Definitely go check out 1776. You can find all the musics here. I will actually leave a link in the comments below of this video to a playlist of the songs. So definitely go check that musical 1776 out. Recommend it highly. Thank you all for watching, and you all have a good day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Goosebumps Gen is out.